Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. In this video I will show you how to replace the fuel pump located inside the fuel tank in 1994 to 2002 Dodge Ram 1500 trucks. Step number 1. Park the truck on a flat surface, raise the truck to a suitable height using a hydraulic jack, and place jack stands under the axles for safety. If your truck is two-wheel drive, place the front jack stands under the control arms. 2. To avoid a possible short circuit, disconnect the negative battery cable with a 10 mm wrench. 3. Note, from this moment on you will be working with fuel, avoid the types of heat sources that could create a spark near the work area. Locate the pressure relief valve located on the fuel rail in the driver's side engine compartment, remove the small cap by turning it counterclockwise and press the relief valve inward with a small flathead screwdriver. Place a towel over it when applying pressure to avoid fuel spraying on your eyes. Once the fuel pressure has been relieved, proceed to reinstall the lid. 4. Loosen the clamps on the two hoses that connect to the gas tank with a ratchet and an 8 mm socket. 5. Disconnect both hoses by pulling them with your hands. 6. Place a hydraulic jack with a wooden block over it under the center of the fuel tank in such a way that it supports its weight as shown in the picture. 7. Remove the two nuts that hold the metal belts that fasten the fuel tank to the chassis with a 15 mm depth socket, a long extension, and a ratchet as shown in the picture. 8. Unhook the metal belts by maneuvering them sideways and downwards and remove them completely. 9. Proceed to lower the hydraulic jack that supports the fuel tank slowly to approximately half the height, making sure that the hoses go down freely and to have access to the fuel pump components as shown in the image. 10. Disconnect the fuel pump wiring harness by moving the small red latch to the right with a flat blade screwdriver or needle nose pliers, followed by downward pressure on the connector lock and pulling it out simultaneously. 11. Next, disconnect line by pinching the edge of the connector inward with your fingers and pulling it out simultaneously. 12. Disconnect the main fuel line by pinching the connector lock with your fingers or with needle nose pliers and pulling the line out with the other hand simultaneously. 13. Finish lowering the hydraulic jack that supports the fuel tank slowly and completely, place it on a workbench in a ventilated area. 14. Remove the dirt accumulated around the fuel pump module using compressed air prior to removing the lock ring to avoid dirt from entering the fuel tank. 15. Remove the ring that holds the fuel pump to the tank using a special tool made for this purpose. If you don't have access to this special tool, you can hit the edges of the lock ring with a piece of wood and a hammer in such a way that it rotates the ring in a counterclockwise direction as shown in the picture. Note: pay attention to the marks that indicate the correct direction when installing the new fuel pump. 16. Remove the damaged fuel pump from inside the tank by pulling it upward with your hands. Place a towel over fuel pump cavity on the tank to avoid dirt or contaminants entering the fuel tank. Empty the remaining fuel from the old fuel pump into a suitable container as shown in the picture. 17. Make a comparison between the bad fuel pump and the new one to ensure that it is correct and proceed to transfer the necessary components on the new fuel pump in case the fuel pump you purchased doesn't come equipped with them. 18. If the new fuel pump doesn't have, remove it from the old fuel pump using a small pry bar and lever it out to release it as shown in the image. 19. Install the aforementioned fitting on the new pump. Lubricating the seal makes the installation easier. 20. If necessary, transfer the main gasoline line lock from the old fuel pump to the new as shown in the picture. 21. Install the new seal on the new fuel pump in the correct direction as shown in the image. 22. Next, install the float on the new fuel pump and lock it as shown in the image. 23. Next, clean the mounting surface using a clean towel and proceed to install the new fuel pump into the tank, ensuring that the seal is in the correct position as shown in the picture. 24. Align the marks on the pump and tank correctly and install the ring back on using the special tool mentioned earlier or using a small piece of wood and a hammer as before, in such a way that it turns clockwise as shown in the picture. 25. Proceed to install the fuel tank and the remaining components in the reverse order they were removed, ensuring that all the bolts, hose clamps, and fasteners are tightened firmly according to torque specifications listed in your owner's manual. Lastly, to bleed the fuel line after having connected the negative terminal of the battery, turn the ignition key to the on position without starting the engine for about 5 seconds, then turn the key to the off position. Look around the fuel line connections and around the bleeder valve located on the fuel rail to verify that there are no fuel leaks present. If there are no fuel leaks, proceed to start the engine and verify one more time that there are no fuel leaks present with the engine running. If everything looks good, lower the truck to the ground and congratulate yourself for performing a successful repair and saving money at the same time. That's how simple it is to replace the in-tank fuel pump on 1994 to 2002 Dodge Ram 1500 pickup trucks. Have a wonderful day.